Welcome to the introduction of Rayid Iridology. We've all heard the old English proverb, the eyes are the windows to the soul, but few people are aware of just how true this observation is. The science of Rayid Iridology gives a whole new meaning to this phrase. Let's explore this more. Iridology. What is it? Iridology is the study of the iris of the eye, which is the exposed nerve endings that make up the colored part of the eye, each of which are connected to the brain and central nervous system by way of the optic nerve. Iridology is a comprehensive health assessment that examines the intricate fiber structures in the iris. It can help the patient learn about their health, their personal strengths and weaknesses, and gain awareness of ways to improve their health. The iridologist will guide the patient as to the best methods to prevent and manage health conditions and genetic weaknesses. The functions of the pupil are well known, but what are the functions of the iris? The diagram of the iris serves a very important function by displaying anatomical features. Nerve fibers in the iris respond to activity and changes in body tissues, transmitting information through nerve impulses within the iris, causing changes in iris structures, markings, pigmentations, and color, which is what an iridologist studies. The iris of the eye is the most complex tissue structure in the human anatomy, next to the brain. From the time we are conceived, the iris and all of its fibers are formed along with the brain before any other organ is developed, making the eyes an extension of the brain endowed with thousands of nerve endings, blood vessels, muscle, and other tissues, displaying a person's state of health through the anatomy of the eyes. Health professionals, such as optometrists and iridologists, are often the first to detect health conditions by examining the composition of the eyes. The idea that the eyes are a map and mirror to the body is an ancient one. The Greek physician Hippocrates, referred to as the father of medicine, was known to examine patients' eyes for signs of illness. It was rediscovered in 1860 by a Hungarian doctor, who devoted his life to its study. Pexley became a great physician of his time. He published several books on iridology and gained much notoriety, but was limited in his observations of the iris because of the optical equipment available to him at the time. With the help of modern technology, now we have sophisticated microscopes and cameras with powerful magnifying capabilities that substantiates the science and practice of iridology by examining before and after photos, providing evidence and data. These high-tech magnifying capabilities help immensely when identifying these intricate iris markings. This allows us to witness changes that take place within iris structures that represent changes in the body resulting from treatment. In the hands of those who are well versed in the pathology of disease as well as anatomy and physiology, this provides a veritable microchip of valuable information. Dr. Bernard Jensen pioneered the science of iridology in the United States. He has completed 50 years of practice and developed one of the most comprehensive iris charts that is still available and in use by iridologists today. A trained iridologist sees the iris as a map of the body, enabling the iridologist to identify inflammation, predispositions, the activity and condition of each organ and body system, exposing nutritional deficiencies, hypo or hyperactivity, and other abnormalities. Combining iridology with the Rayid model, sometimes referred to as behavioral iridology or Rayid iridology, provides a more comprehensive health analysis coupled with a biological personality trait assessment. Like a two-way mirror, this unique and synergistic combination offers a more extensive interpretation of mind-body correlations. A Rayid iridology assessment provides immediate information into a person's behavior and scope of personality, psychological health, inherent dispositions, physical health issues, emotional distresses, anxiety, addiction propensities, and other risk factors, relationship compatibilities, and how one relates to others. For counselors or diagnosticians, this unique assessment style lends insightful information to ascertain the risk potential of substance abuse and emotional states, while detecting the appropriate implications of treatment. There are various personality analyses, profiles, and systems available today, many of which have originated from Hippocrates' theory of the medical humors and temperaments from 2,000 years ago, who incorporated them into his medical practice. From then through modern times, these terms have been modified and relabeled many times, but are still valid and useful and have been part of many theories of medicine, psychology, and literature. The research of psychologist Hans Eysenck led him to believe that temperaments is biologically based, and noted how the results were similar to Hippocrates' 4 ancient temperaments: choleric, sanguine, phlegmatic, and melancholic. Similarly, the Rayid model defines 4 personality types that are biologically based. Only the Rayid iris types are exhibited in the structures of the iris. Career and relationship propensities, as well as aptitudes and freedom from personal limitations, are displayed within each iris type. The 4 Rayid iris types are flower, shaker, stream, and jewel. One of the iris types is the flower, which is the emotional type. It is characterized by distinctly rounded openings in the iris similar to flower petals. This identifies an emotional and feeling-oriented person. They are spontaneous, changeable, and sociable. Their creative abilities allow them to excel in a variety of professions. The next Rayid iris type is the jewel mental type. Dot-like freckles or pigments in the iris indicate a logical thinking person. Mental types direct their perceptions and feelings through internal thought and analysis. Often intense, they show little emotion and enjoy setting and obtaining goals. They use their analytical traits in business and management. Next is the stream kinesthetic type. They are characterized by a uniformity fiber structure in the iris, which suggests a kinesthetic type of personality. These hands-on people perceive and integrate life through physical touch and tend to be naturals in athletics, dance, healthcare, and human service. Following is the shaker extremis type. Both dot-like pigments with rounded openings like small flower petals indicate an extremist type nature. These unconventional and dynamic people are highly motivated and progressive. They're independent thinkers, driven to achieve yet ungrounded as they experience cycles of success and failure. Next, we have the combination Rayid iris types. Everyone has at least one Rayid type, but can be a combination of up to all 4 types. For those that are a combination type, each description will apply, particularly the type that is most dominant. You can learn more about your specific Rayid iris type in the Rayid Iridology course that outlines your career potential, relationship attractions, strengths, interaction styles, and more. We will now illustrate the iridology traits. The first example is a true brown iris. There are only 2 natural eye colors, blue and brown. Otherwise, it is considered a genetic mix or acquired weakness. Presence of brown melanin pigment cells layered over iris fibers give a velvet-like appearance. The iris sign of a true blue iris. Blue coloration is presented with the absence of surface pigment layer or melanin. This is the other natural eye color. Otherwise, it is a genetic mix or acquired weakness due to poor dietary and lifestyle habits. The iris sign of genetically mixed in example 1, where both the presence of blue and brown coloration results in a hazel colored iris, but is not as a result of toxicity. And in our second example of a genetically mixed iris sign, you can observe a clear definition of pigmented and non-pigmented areas. Although this is a rare genetic mix, it is not an abnormality or an indicator of weakness. This iris sign demonstrates a strong constitution. It is characterized by tight, evenly distributed trabecula, which is a uniformity in iris fibers. It indicates strong and vital genetic heritage and cellular tissue, a body that is more able to resist illness and disease. However, prolonged abuse or negligence to the body will inevitably lead to weakening the strong constitution type. This leads us to our next iris sign, which demonstrates a weak constitution. This features a daisy petal appearance and open spaces. It represents poor genetic heritage and body tissues that are weak, with a likelihood of illness or increased risk of dis-ease when the body is abused, slow to recover and heal. Here we have the iris sign that represents the nerve wreath and intestinal lining. It is a landmark feature approximately a third of the way out from the pupil and illustrates an autonomic nervous system response and condition, as well as intestinal integrity. Following that, we have the iris sign that displays neurovascular cramping or nerve rings. This is characterized by circular arcs or portions of arcs which spread throughout the iris. This indicates a condition of anxiety, tension, or stress in body tissues, resulting in rigidity, stiffness, and restriction of blood and vital nerve supplies. The following iris sign illustrates bowel pockets. You can observe small pit-like lesions on the inner border of the autonomic nerve wreath. This is an indication of small, pouch-like lesions or diverticula contained in the bowel wall. And for our final iris sign, demonstrating chronic lesions. This signifies variable lesions with darker coloration, which are in stages of chronic tissue, underactivity, suppression, and impaired cellular function. This concludes our Intro to Rayid Iridology. To discover what traits and characteristics define your Rayid Iridology type, be sure to download the complete version of the Rayid Iridology course, which provides the detailed description of the emotional and physical characteristic types at a price anyone can afford. This course covers exclusive information pertaining to each specific Rayid Iridology topographies to help you learn Rayid personality types to benefit you and those around you. This in-depth information can serve as a guideline that will enable you to identify the specific iris structure without the guesswork. This course covers the comprehensive practice of Rayid and Iridology combined with practical terminology interpretation and personality profiling, as well as relationship compatibilities for your personal use and interests. Download the Rayid Iridology course through the link provided, and we'll look forward to seeing you there.